Okay, so today we're jumping into a truly remarkable story about artistic connection. It's all about a painter and a poet, two creative people whose worlds collided in this amazing way, sparking a project that is just incredible in its scale and dedication. It all comes from a shared love for the natural world. All right, let's get into it.
So, this whole thing really boils down to a timeless question, right? How does one art form inspire another? I mean, artists have been doing this for centuries. But in this case, the story of how a silent image on a canvas got translated into the rhythm and words of poetry, well, that's what makes the Stephen Gayford Poetry Project so special. First up, let's meet the artist who kinda kicked this whole thing off, maybe without even knowing it. The celebrated wildlife painter, Stephen Gayford. His work, which is so vibrant and full of detail, would become the one and only focus of this massive project. And this verse, it just perfectly captures the spirit of Gayford's work. It comes from a poem that really speaks to the joy and the shared talent behind the canvas, a feeling that would seriously resonate with our second artist. And that second artist is, of course, the poet Denis Martindale. For years, he was just an admirer of Gayford's art from a distance. But that admiration, well, it was about to bubble over into this huge creative mission of his own.
And here's where the story gets really interesting. Martindale wasn't, strolling through fancy art galleries. Nope. He was discovering Gayford's art on television auction channels. And later, he was hunting for prints online, on sites like eBay. Just think about that. Every print he found in this digital world became a new seed for a poem.
This is where the project really comes alive. See, Martindale didn't just look at the art and say, oh, that's nice. He had a conversation with it. He started creating this direct one-to-one connection between a specific painting and a brand new original poem. So take this for example. Imagine you're seeing a print of this painting, two young tiger cubs against this huge snowy backdrop. What does that make you feel? For Martindale, it sparked a whole narrative.
And this just shows the transformation perfectly. The poem, which is called Siberian Siblings, doesn't just describe the painting. It gives the cubs an inner world, a sense of wonder. You can almost feel the cold and hear the crunch of the snow. It's incredible. Let's look at another one. Here, the subject is this single, majestic elephant. Gayford's painting just perfectly captures its power, but also its serenity. You feel this immense presence. And Martindale's poem, Out of the Shadows, just nails that mood in words. He totally captures that feeling of calm and the absolute awe of seeing a creature like that. The whole atmosphere of the painting becomes the soul of the poem.
And get this, it wasn't just the big, grand, colorful paintings. Even a simple sketch, like this one of a young lion, was enough to spark a whole poetic story about growth and destiny.
This verse from Young Lion really gets to the heart of it. Martindale doesn't just see the lion as it is in that moment. He sees the king it's going to become. He's pulling an entire story of transformation right out of the artist's pencil strokes. Now, writing one poem for one painting is impressive, for sure. But Martindale didn't stop there. He didn't stop at 10 or even 100. The scale of this personal passion project is, to be honest, just staggering. Just let that number sink in for a second. Over 700 poems, each and every one of them a direct response to a single piece of art by Stephen Gayford. This is more than a collection. It's a monument to inspiration, a testament to one artist's deep, profound connection to another's vision. And look at this. This is just a tiny glimpse of how meticulously he organized it all. An A to Z index with every title and the date it was written, all logged. You're looking at a roadmap of pure passion, from A Brush with Genius to A Legion of Lions. It's all there. But what's so incredible is that Martindale didn't just want to keep this world to himself. He actually created a roadmap, a way for anyone who is curious to follow his journey and experience that same magic of pairing the image with the verse. And here's how you do it. It's actually really simple. First, you find the art. Just search for Stephen Gayford prints on sites like eBay or PicClick. Second, make a note of the painting's title. And third, you search for that exact title on Poemhunter.com to find Martindale's matching poem. He's made it possible for anyone to recreate that moment of discovery. But all projects, even passion projects as huge as this one, eventually come to an end. And in October of 2017, after years of dedicated work, Martindale decided it was time to close this chapter.
And these are his words, right from the final blog post. A simple, clear statement marking the end of the project's active creation. He explains that he'd explored hundreds of prints, and that, for him, the journey of discovery was complete.
But, and this is so important, the end of the blog was not the end of the work. The entire collection, all 700 plus poems, it all remains accessible online. It's become a permanent digital archive of this unique creative conversation between a painter and a poet. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought, doesn't it? This project created a whole new layer of meaning on top of Gayford's original paintings. Its legacy isn't just that art inspires art. It's that in our modern digital world, that inspiration can be found anywhere, and an online archive can give it a life that echoes long after the final word is written.